Aaliyah will gesture that place. You will take your leave of Rashad. He will give you 1,000 blessings as you depart. You make your way just a bit farther around, continue down, and you can see a sign in the common tongue that just says Wagros overhead. It is a big, kind of like a wide, it's covered by lots of shawls, tapestries, tents, fabric, brightly colored fabric that seems to go over a very large centralized circular area. And you can see the first half of it has a couple of different pedestals that seem to have like a shiny sword or a gem or things of that nature kind of just suspended, a little bit of floating in light. And as you kind of come up to that area, you can see that there's a very beautiful, fair-skinned, blonde-haired, green eyes, pointed ears, so some kind of either elf, half-elf, or Fae-touched, or well, honestly, there's a lot of reasons that you have pointy ears in this world now that I think about it, but you see a pointy-eared, vaguely humanoid-esque female who, she's got the usual kind of, if you ever watched Aladdin, the big golden bracers. She's got those little bitches on her wrists, and she is currently using a cloth, and she's wiping down some stuff on the counter. And she's kind of just behind the counter, and you can see behind the counter there are a lot of other things that are seeming to be recessed and hidden behind concealed shelving, with the exception of up in the very center, right behind this woman, about 10 paces back, sitting on a dais, is a very clear, with like a little spotlight kind of shining upon it, is a lamp that seems to be holding like a brass lamp that seems to hold a purpley blue coruscating mist that sparkles and swirls within it. And as you kind of get closer, you can see the woman kind of peer up, look at you. You kind of cross that threshold to enter the shop, and then she will kind of walk around towards you, and she will bow down very low. Greetings, humble traveler. I am Zen, the humble servant of Wagro. How may I help you?
We are shopping around for things that would assist in a battle we have upcoming. A battle with a large, or perhaps I should say gargantuan creature.
Would you care for a very large sword?
I have one of those, actually.
Maybe. But
maybe actually, you know what? It's fair.
I am in the market for a very large sword.
Yeah, I have to readjust my mind.
If you are interested in a weapon, a very large weapon to enable you to hunt large creatures, I have this great sword of dragon slaying.
Tell me about
Thor,
it.
Yes.
Do we? Just a question. Would we think that things that slay dragons would slay dragon turtles? Based on our research. Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
And is there such a thing as a sword of dragon sleeping?
It's called a sword of dragon slaying.
I think that's just called 16 pounds of Valium.
I heard 16. I'm thinking like 600. But
I don't know how much a Valium is or does, or how big a dragon is. So
yeah.
The map,
what were you saying?
The map is all off.
Nope, that was my question.
She will happily kind of gesture to you over. It's a great sword. It's clearly way too big for you.
Yeah.
Being who you are, but it is a very large sword. You can see it looks like it's made of black metal, bronze, a very large bronze hilt that looks like it's a dragon mouth breathing out, and the sword is what's kind of flying out, and it has little bits of a ripple wave in it, like a kind of Damascus sheen in the blade. She goes, right here. This weapon provides extra damage against any creatures of the dragon type.
Well, that is very specific.
It is. Well, I mean, you said gargantuan, and I know dragons are quite large.
They are.
Absolutely. But what else do you have around? I'm a bit of a hunter, one might say, and just
would you be interested in arrows? Usually folks that are hunters, they are interested in arrows of slaying.
Mm.
What's something a little less lethal?
We might see. We will need to kill some
I have a
creatures.
wand of napping.
A wand of napping.
I mean, we might need that just in general.
Like I wasn't interested, but now
I could sign up for one of those right now.
Or Uthal.
Yes.
Yes.
Amazing how the priorities change. Yes, I do have a leaf little wand. She pulls it out. She kind of gives it a little bit of a gesture. It looks kind of like a willowy kind of a rod of wood, and at the end of it, it looks like there is a cat that is kind of crawling over the top of it.
It's so dumb. I want it, but no.
How much is that?
It's a great question. This wand is. Let me just make sure. I don't remember the spell. What level spell slot this is? It is not loading. There it is.
It's a weird price. It says your wand is 404.
This wand it is 5,000 gold pieces. It enables you to cast the catnap spell 4 times in a day.
Is that a spell?
It is. It's one action, and once you gesture it, you can point it at somebody, and up to 3 willing creatures of your choice fall in range. It's within about this area. She's gesturing to you guys all out here. The 3 creatures would then fall unconscious for about 10 minutes. And then if they wake up afterwards, if they spend the full duration, which is about 10 minutes, they come to of their own accord, and they gain the benefit as if they just took a kind of a short rest.
Oh,
That's hilarious.
That's actually really useful. It's one of those things that when we need it, we'll be glad we have it. I'll keep that in mind.
5,000 gold pieces. She sets it to the side and notes something down on her ledger. She notes something somewhere.
We have a need to both slay creatures, which we are, without sounding too rude, pretty good at. But we also need to bring some of them back, or at least subdue them somewhat. Do you have anything that could restrain a gargantuan creature, or perhaps aid in...
Yeah, get to the back. Tend to my wares. She gives an eye roll, and you can see she kind of quickly heads out back. And you can see coming from the darkness behind, there's a little curtains that part, and you can see there's a very, very heavy-set, wide, jowly-looking Merid, clad in too much bling, too much fabric. His bottom half is just a torrent of spiraling water holding him aloft as he kind of bobs and rolls his way forward towards you. My humblest apologies. Good help is always so hard to find these days. It sounds to me like you are more interested in exotic wares. She can tell you about, the stick that makes you sleepy and the sword that makes you stabby. But if you are interested in the more exotic wares, let Wagro be of assistance. You're hunting great beasts.
Big
Yes.
Big.
And we have to bring it in alive.
It's most difficult. You need... You know what kind of creature possesses?
I have an idea of what you're going to say.
Gestures with a hand. And you can see a little bit of sparkles fly out towards the lamp on a pedestal as the spotlight slightly shifts in color. I can offer you a gin. Certainly not cheap, but who gets what you pay for, yeah?
This is an owning type situation, not a renting type situation, right?
Oh, yes, absolutely. You get the lamp, you get whatever comes with it, get everything that happens afterwards. Make no mistake. You wish to live forever and long for the sweet release of death, but cannot taste it? That is on you, my friend. I make no such apologies and certainly no refunds. I can, but that is for the the curious, the hungry, those who want a little bit more. If you maybe want a little bit, you said restrained, not imprisoned, restrained,
Yes.
detained, temporarily.
Detained. Right.
He looks around. The back stuff, girl. Go farther back. Go back, guts. Get back. And you can see the fair woman who is like cleaning something just off to the side, just looks confused and tries to find somewhere further in the back to get away from. He gestures with his finger like this, and as you can see on his fat ass finger, there is a scary looking pinky ring. It has a beautiful emerald inset on it, and as he's licking his eye and kind of tending to his well manicured, bloated face, everyone make a perception check. Holy shit sticks.
Forgot about Faye.
That number is
I
terrible.
was you from
So-
yesterday's session to today.
The whiplash. I didn't find anything yesterday.
that perception.
Today I saw God. So yeah, Vex and Uthal, there is a humanoid in that ring.
Hmm.
Oh, cool. Like a picture of a human.
No, fully three-dimensionalized, realized, quite well detailed. Alice, you can make out, the two legs, the arms, the head, the humanoid-esque figure. That's what you're making out. Faye, there is a literal goddamn angel in his ring. If you want the power to restrain a creature of tremendous power, it's costly. It's doable. It's costly.
Well, let's talk numbers.
He flips his hand and gestures, and there is a clearly illusory gem that he holds in his hand. It is terrifying in its size. It is a brilliant, dazzling ruby, larger than a mammoth's testicle.
Mm.
Flawless. Oh. Point this at anyone, anything that you don't actively make prayers to. And he gives it a flick, and the gemstone goes away, and he just flashes that pinky ring at you. Stick in the gem, 1 inch square, or about. You define the terms that release it. Offering you a gem that serves as the material focus for the imprisonment spell. But on an action to cast, not the minute. And it only does the containment minimus, or minimus containment. So if you look at the spell, it's not Sleeping Beauty, it's not Titans Under Tartarus, it is specifically puts you in a gem.
Until dispelled.
9th level fucking magic. Not cheap. Somewhat potentially illegal. Highly capable. There's a reason he was telling the girl to get the fuck out of Dodge.
Right.
Also, he's probably not the nicest guy.
Do we happen to know what our party stash is like right now?
40,000 gold pieces.
Did we expect any kind of financial remuneration after the job was done?
Expect remuneration from the Empress of the. Well, I'm not going to say this in front of. What's his face? We do expect.
You can trust Wagro. There's no secrets in my friends.
Of course. We'll discuss this. Apologies. This is. Let me be
Wagro
the
will
first.
respect the sidebar, right? Okay.
Thank you.
It goes a little bit farther away.
We are expected to have compensation, though I think our compensation is going to be slightly more esoteric than gold. What we want is the ability. This is all in service to fight the Kraken more effectively.
Right.
They have the capability to make us more effective fighters in the crushing depths that we will need to be in. And I think that is what we are asking for. We can probably also ask for, costs. But I don't know if 100,000 gold pieces will be considered costs. Given the scale...
You don't know what your per DM is on this, no.
Exactly, and given the scale of the opulence in this city, it might not be unreasonable to ask for that, but we should go with the assumption that if we buy this, it is just... we're out that money.
Right. I mean, but if we could maybe put a down payment of 40 and then pay with the
think
reward.
This man will be amenable to that. If I'm
Maybe, who knows?
Sure. Let me put it this way. I would not like to owe anything.
He seems like a guy who has
when
people
we
that owe him
leave
things.
this room.
I mean, yeah, you just saw one of them. It was the girl.
Yeah, exactly.
Down. We all watched Guardians of the Galaxy.
Right.
Side note: I love that the Legend of Vox Machina show respected the sidebar.
Yeah.
There is
Nice.
a section where like some of the characters like sidebar, and they step
Sidebar.
aside, and it's absolutely just
We respect the sidebar.
100%. If you haven't seen it, you should fucking watch it. It's on Amazon, and it's amazing.
I was just impressed by how many voice. I mean, I knew the crit roll cast is full of voice actors, but then how many voice actors they also got.
Oh yeah, they have so many friends. Everybody.
The first episode, it's like a minute in, and it's like Buster versus Scrooge McDuck.
Tony Hale and David Tennant are arguing in the throne room. Jesus.
Damn.
And then Trunks shows up.
The Trunks, exactly. All right. I think this is something we should consider, because this seems we're going to be at an expense no matter what we do, and this seems like it solves the issue. Now, we would still need to subdue the beast. We would still need to fight the beast and release it in such a way that is not going to immediately wreck and destroy. Also, based on our conversations, would this be considered unsavory to release the beast using this method in front of the Empress? We've talked with Aaliyah about this a little bit. Is this...
Wait, why would the Empress be upset about it?
If you chime in on this, if you want Aaliyah, she'll be in your sidebar. She will come. Well, just in general, the Dow, Ifri, history hasn't been kind to them, what with them being imprisoned by wizards for service. So just in general, they look down upon it. Now, having said that, and she looks over to the curtains that the young woman kind of ran off through. It's like almost to a T, to my knowledge, every single one of them willingly and frequently keeps slaves, like large quantities of indentured humanoids.
I will also bring up that the actual literal mission is to enslave an intelligent dragon for the rest of its life.
Yes. So I'm just going to say it might be one of those things where it will be a political machination. You will lose some points, but you will still win points for the delivery.
Right.
So if you win enough points, it doesn't matter what you lost. You still come out ahead. Probably.
Right.
I don't know how you guys play.
What's Aaliyah's stake in this? Like, what does she get if
It's a great question. No one's asked.
Aaliyah? What's your stake in this? What do you get?
I'm just trying to be helpful.
All right, Leah. Look, we can. We're going to risk our lives to bring something terrifying to this place. I don't mind that you have a personal financial stake in this. I don't mind. I work No offense, Vex. I work with people who have personal financial stakes in many. Like, it's fine as long as I know. It doesn't
Wisdom
matter.
Persuasion, you have advantage.
Oh,
Wow.
Damn.
So she will look at you. Get my freedom, okay? I'm the person who found the team that gets the dragon turtle for the Empress. I'll get a boot.
If you had led with this, we would have done it for you. Just as an FYI.
I don't know who you are.
That's fair.
You are competent and capable.
That's very fair.
Maybe a little bit shady, but
okay. Well, that's good to know because honestly, I was looking at this thing he was offering, thinking about the Kraken back home.
yes.
We could skip a step potentially,
Just,
but I get it. I get it now.
the problem with using this on the Kraken is that, well, there's one, but we could just, of course, set it and forget it. But then that doesn't solve the problem of finding the ancient giant city and perhaps taking over his network of spies and informants. We're at step 1 of a 30-step plan, so maybe but we can come back where there might be another one of these gyms. I think this is a tempting
Wagro,
offer.
like looking towards the lamp as he's polishing it or some shit.
Oh, that's a tempting offer as well. This whole place is full of tempting offers. How dare they tempt me with things I like?
You look over here, you see a dragon sword just glinting.
I'll ask Aaliyah now, kind of like look over at the lamp. What happens after it's opened? I don't really know anything about these except someone once said we could probably find one to sell it back.
I also don't know. My understanding, though, is that whoever holds the lamp, they rub the lamp and they say, "I wish," and then something magical happens. But I'm sorry. Beyond that, you'll have to talk to Wagro or find somebody who knows how this stuff works.
What's the difference between the lamp and the ruby?
The lamp, the ruby is a one-time use. It will cast the imprisonment spell. It will use the gem as the focus. The lamp, he'll tell you, yes, you must hold it just so, rub the lamp, and provide your command phrase in the phrase of a wish. I wish, blah, 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 blah. And then the djinn will execute.
Oh, that's only 60?
Yes, but it is a wish. You know what? Never mind. It will be fine. 60.
I get it. Yeah.
No downsides.
No doubt.
I'm not very familiar with djinn or wishes. It is somewhat odd to me that it would cost less, and thus I view it perhaps more suspiciously than the gem. We could theoretically say, I wish to imprison that creature. All right. Well, you've given us much to think on. Much to think on. We will need to look at our finances and see what our ultimate plan is going to be. But
Plan. Consider your thoughts. I will tend to my wares as always. Wagro will always be here to provide interesting curiosities for the discerning customers.
Of course. Your servant earlier was very helpful, by the way.
Fascinating.
Fascinating.
I think we will retire to discuss our plans.
Well, as soon as you kind of start turning away, Wagro will kind of like clap his hands as he disappears behind the silks, and you can see the girl run out from the other side of the door, or the other curtains, and kind of take up her position behind the counter.
Vex, you're a businessman. If you had a lamp that had no drawbacks, and you could just wish for things, would you sell it for 60,000 gold pieces?
No. However, like the bad stuff may be
Because you're smart enough not to get burned. Is that
Is there
follow-up?
exactly. We have talked
There's
before.
no way This I wish will never
Yes.
go wrong. I am 100% in for it.
We could just wish for the dragon turtle to enter into a contract with us that gets enforced by the inevitables.
Over in the corner, Alice literally made a deal with the goddamn devil.
Right.
I don't know if this is a good idea, guys.
Yeah, it's just a little.
I'm like, case in point.